this more? Perfect. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Tell Me More with me, Tony Moore. Oh, see, this is what happens when you are a one-man band. You are just in charge of doing everything. All right, so I hope that you guys are enjoying yourselves. I hope everyone is okay. I hope that y'all have not eaten all your quarantine snacks yet. And that you are just simply enjoying yourself at home, staying safe, washing your hands, and things of that nature. All right, so coming up on this episode, we have a good friend of mine, Jason Carter, who you might have seen on the past few seasons of RuPaul's Drag Race. He's also an amazing host. And we're going to chit chat, we're going to talk, and we're going to see where it goes. So let me get Jason in on the line. He gonna come in and we gonna talk. No, he not gonna be. Oh, hold up. Let's see. Let me do this again. All right. Get him on in here. Hi. Oh, there he is.
Hey, Tony. Hey, can you hear me? Everything okay?
Yeah. Oh, look at you. You tried to have an outdoor view.
You know, I had to change it up for the people indoors. Look, we can't be around people, but we can be in nature. So I said, screw it. Let me just go outside and breathe in the non-smog air. There's no smog. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Right. Like all of LA is good. It's clear. You got on your red. You look great. Look at you.
Just
Quarantine looks good on you, Jason.
Quarantine realness.
Okay, so Jason and I have been friends for over a decade. If you guys haven't heard our Kiki session on my podcast, More Please, please make sure you go check it out. But I absolutely love the Jason. I think he's super talented.
Thank you. Likewise.
Well, yes. And I wanted to just chit chat with him. It's the night of Drag Race, so I feel like it was only appropriate to have one of the sexiest pit crew people up on the line so that we could just chit chat and talk about some stuff.
Yeah, I agreed.
Yes. Okay, wait. So I don't know if I know this or if I remember you telling me, like, how did you become a pit crew member on Drag Race?
We probably talked about it like clandestinely, but what happened is so 2010 was a really cool year for me because at the beginning of every year I had I write down these really cool like things that are going to happen, and manifestations I guess is what they are now, right? But back then we weren't calling them manifestations, we were calling them New Year's resolutions,
right?
And so I had gotten new pictures. I was dancing. I had gotten new pictures done, and I was body shots. I was going to be dancing for someone that year. And so I was filling in for a friend of mine named Benjamin Allen. He has a class called Group 3. It was
Ben Allen, I love him.
We love Ben Allen. Hey Sticks. And so one of the producers of Drag Race was on the treadmill outside of the dance room watching, and his friend was taking the class I was teaching.
Right.
So the producer told a friend, hey, we were looking, I guess I had been looking for new pit crew members for season 3 because that's when I had came on with season 3. Yeah. So the producer's friend came in back into the studio and said, hey, have you thought about modeling? Do you have any pictures? He was asking me all these questions because, my friend's looking for models for this show. Wouldn't tell me what the show was. And I said, sure, whatever. I mean, I had knew the friend because we had been dancing together. So I said, here's my email, reach out. So weeks went by, back and forth. I finally went in for an audition on a day I was off, and they had been asking me, and I said, screw it, fine, I'll just go in. And the rest is history. And they called me back a couple months later. Was like, hey, would you like to be a part of this show called RuPaul's Drag Race? We really like you for this pit crew role. How do you feel about it? I said, sure. And what's interesting, Tony, is that I've loved RuPaul my whole life. I have, from the RuPaul show back in the 90s, I used to watch on VH1, to just all his music, Supermodel of the World, Foxy Lady. And now, having worked with RuPaul for over a decade, it's so weird how manifestation, right?
Yes. Listen, I've been trying to manifest me meeting Beyonce for like 15 years now. So I am still just kind of putting it out in the universe. If anybody's watching now, I would like to meet Beyonce. You know,
Hey, it could happen. It could happen. Listen, you've been at a lot. You got to do all kinds of cool stuff on the Real. I mean, Tony, you're making things happen.
Listen, I'm trying to make things happen. Look, I made this happen. Like,
all you did was like beep boop bop boop beep boop boop. Jay,
yeah.
All right, okay, cool. I'll see you then. 2 p.m. Friday. Yeah, we got that.
Boom. It's like a friend of mine was like, "Did you really need to start another show?" And I was like,
"Yes, you did."
Yeah, I absolutely did. You know what? I didn't know that story. I didn't know that that's how you became a pit crew member.
Yeah, it's interesting because in the universe again, because weeks before they called me, I had hosted an event with Shangela, who was returning for season 3, and guess who was at that event? World of Wonder. Then weeks later, a couple weeks later, I was at a pool party for some friends, producers of the show, and who was at this pool party? Other people of World of Wonder. So it's just really weird how the universe, or whoever you believe in, puts these puzzle pieces together, you know? But the rest is history. 15 seasons 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and All Stars 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 15 seasons of Drag Race. It's been a ride.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, you've been on there for a long time.
I should get a pension. I should be getting a pension from World of Wonder. But I mean, Tony, you know, Drag Race is awesome. It's this beacon of just positivity and just fun for not only LGBTQ plus people, but for cisgendered, heteronormative allies. It's just it's there's nothing like it on television. So I'm so grateful and honored to be a part of television history.
Yeah, and like I always used to say, because you know, Jason and I, obviously, we favor people like think that we're twins, and I'm like, no, we just favor, we look alike. But if I got my body together, like we would be the perfect bookends on Drag Race. Like Jason walk in, I walk in, like that would be cute. But I just refuse to get my body together because I like to eat.
Same. Well, here's the thing. I don't like for all the people watching. I was in New Orleans. And, hey, Craig. And this person's. I'm at Harrah's Casino, and this person's running up to me. Tony.
Oh.
In New Orleans, and I'm like, I'm not Tony. Oh, Jason. I'm like, yeah. Like you. And he literally thought I was you. And I was like, you know what? If I'm gonna look like anyone, I'll look like Tony Moore. It's fine.
I mean, who wouldn't want to look like Tony Moore?
Well, you got the hair back. Look, Tony, you're like a new man. You got a nice. It's all moisturized.
Listen. This is just my juices and berries.
Let your soul glow.
That's it. Okay? So for you, because both you and I have worked for World of Wonder.
Yeah.
What was it like meeting Ru for the first time? Because I have a story. I'm sure you have one.
You know, wow. Because here's the thing. Ru is one of those people that when you see him again over the years, it's like meeting him for the first time because he has that thing that you know Oprah has, Mariah has. It's just so. But when I met Ru for the first time, it was the Queens Who Stole Christmas episode of season 3, and I couldn't believe it's RuPaul.
Yeah,
you know, I couldn't believe that here I am just next to this icon, someone who I have thought was just amazing my whole life. This person standing right in front of me. It's really surreal. It's like everything that's going on now with COVID-19 and coronavirus, how surreal that feels. Like you can't really wrap your head around it.
Yeah.
Was the same way I felt when I first met Ru. And of course, he's always been the kindest, most just warmest and just intentional person that I've been able to work with. Always just helping in any way he can with advice. Just a good energy. And I'm not saying that because I work for him, but just honestly, people always ask me like, what is Ru like? Ru is awesome. Ru's awesome.
No, I can attest to that because when I worked with World of Wonder for DragRace, Ru came into the office and you have this feeling of it's Ru. And there's something of it's almost like you almost envision Rue like gliding in, and like it's just this like Rue, it's
Right.
this moment of like wow. And I just remember him, in that moment, the nicest, like just like down to earth, like, hey, how you doing? And
Yeah.
I'm just like, me? You
Right.
talking to me? And like, I never felt, you don't feel like he walks into a room and is like, don't, you know who I am. Or like a Miranda Priestley moment where
Right.
like everyone's like running
Scatters.
around the
Like,
loins and stuff. Yeah. Like you literally feel like, oh, like you're just cool,
well,
down to earth, easy to talk to, and like no tea, no shade, no tea, lemonade.
right. And that I think that leans on the fact that, people like Rue that have been in the business for a long time. And, I had the chance to interview Mark Wahlberg one time. And Mark Wahlberg is a superstar. And
Mm-hmm.
he was in a t-shirt and sweats and was just like, ask me anything. You don't
Yeah.
have to be, once you get to a stage, I think in your life as well as your career, you don't need to, your presence announces itself. You don't have to announce your presence, And
Right.
so, I mean, Rue is that, multiple Emmys. I mean, it's just, yeah, that's just the magic of RuPaul, really.
And one of the other things that I hope that people know about you is that you are an amazing host.
Thanks,
Like
thank you.
I feel like people see you on Drag Race, they see you in the underwear with your shirt off, looking all like comfortable and scrumptious and things, and they don't realize that like you're a talented person. You have something else other than just that. Who do you remember who your first interview was? Like the first person that you ever interviewed?
Wow. Well, first of all, thank you for those kind words, Tony. I feel the same about you. Yeah, I am an accomplished on-camera personality. I've been a host since I was 16. I started working as a host in high school, hosting a show back home, and I'm from Albuquerque, New Mexico, hosting a really popular show back home for 7 seasons. The first person I interviewed was actually on that show was Crazy Bone from Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Shut
Back in
up.
the day. Yes, back in the day. And so from there, I pivoted into radio. I worked in radio for 10 years. I did rhythmic, top 40, urban, you name it, talk radio, all of it.
Yeah.
And so, people always ask me, what's one of your most memorable interviews that you've ever done? They're all memorable. There hasn't been one interview. Probably, honestly, one of the best interviews I've done actually was interviewing Rue at DragCon, because
Oh yeah.
it seemed a very like just a full circle moment. Here we are in this space in front of all these fans at his event, being a part of this movement and being able to talk to him just friend to friend. It wasn't like one of those interviews like, tell me about it. It was just, Rue, what's next for you? You've conquered it all. Like, what
Yeah.
and so I would have to say that was probably one of the most memorable interviews in my career, because
Yeah.
here I am in my own home interviewing someone who's allowed me into their home for so many years,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
No, I get it.
and so
Because
that, yeah.
I feel like, and I said this before, Raven Simone was like one of my favorite top interviews
Yeah.
because it was just so like we're just two people who know each other, we're friends, we have a
Right.
great rapport, and it
Yeah.
wasn't like, so tell me, Raven, how do you feel about global warming? Like it didn't feel like that. It just
Right.
felt like there was a camera there while we were talking. You know
Sure.
what I mean?
100%.
So that one for me has always been that interview that's like, yep, this is what interviewing should feel like. This is what my web series should feel like. Like it just felt good.
And also, I think when you are a personality or an anchor or a host, like you especially in this industry, because everything, we're always hustling for something. We're always trying to get to a goal. We're always trying to book that job, that next gig. When you have those moments with those people and you dumb down your successes and you're present in, like, oh my gosh, here I am talking to someone who I admire, who I really who I've watched on TV my whole life, who's a part of my tapestry as a human, be it television, music, or whatever. That's a success. You're in your purpose. You're on your path, because that is a magical moment. At least I like to think so.
Yeah.
But you know, I've interviewed Halle Berry. I've interviewed some really cool people. I think another cool interview I had was with Tamar Braxton. That was great. Hey, Misha.
I love Tamar Braxton.
Yeah.
You know I love me some Tamar Braxton.
Yeah, Tamar was awesome, and this was Tamar 2.0. This was shaved head, put on a wig, Tamar. You know,
yes.
So this is after the real. So you know, like she was a completely different woman. She wasn't the. Yeah. She was very different.
Yeah.
And so it was just nice. And I had asked her, you know, in 2017, you gave us Blue Bird of Happiness, and you said you were done with music.
Yeah.
Are you still done with music? And she was like, yeah. But then we're getting this new Tamar song coming soon.
Here we are.
Right.
Here we are with a new Tamar song on this new soundtrack. I'm like, girl, you took a break.
Yeah, but hey, look, Jay-Z did it in 2003, said the Black Album was his last album, came back in 2006 with American Gangsta. Sometimes people need to take a break. Like, humanity's taking a break right now with coronavirus, and we'll be back to business, hopefully, in no time. Yes.
Look, that's the one thing that I absolutely love about you is that you always remember dates. You're always like, Jay-Z did it back in 1993, and he had this album. Like, I love when you say date. Because you can ask me what happened in 2019. Couldn't tell you.
I'm crazy like that. I'm so crazy.
But so how did you? Because I know that you hosted the show in Albuquerque.
Yeah.
But how did you get into hosting? Like, did you? Because you started off as a dancer.
Right. So hosting here in Los Angeles.
Just hosting in general.
Well, back in Albuquerque, so I mean, I grew up in a time when MTV had VJs, and that was the thing you did. You know, dancing. It's all intersectional. So, like, if you work in this industry, you're talented. Most people are multi-talented. So, you know, I'm a firm believer in you do the work and everything you want to be successful at, right? So I was a dancer, grew up dancing, and then I figured like, oh, I had this personality. My mom's like, you should start hosting. So back in Albuquerque, there was auditions for this show on the radio. And the first year I did it, it wasn't on TV, it was live events. I moved to live with my dad in New Orleans, came back and heard the audition again on the radio and went, and there was like 300 people, and so you had to memorize like 4 lines, and you also had to have a dance routine. So I made up my dance routine in the bathroom. It was to Creep from TLC. Yeah. And then so that's how I got back into it. But when I moved to LA in 2006 or 2005, was doing the dance thing. Had a back surgery in 2007 and figured like, I really wasn't booking a lot as a dancer because I was really tall. You mentioned bookends earlier. It's really hard to find guys that are the same height, and artists are really short. Artists are not as big as you think they are. Or you guys watching at home. Hey, James. So, James says, hey. I pivoted back to hosting in 2009, got back into classes, and then in 2010 I started doing free work. I started working for free for an outlet, covering America's Best Dance Crew for MTV backstage, and that
I remember that.
Yeah, back in the day, and so a lot of talent is against doing free stuff. I think when you're starting out, it's about getting the experience and getting that tape and having, and cutting your teeth. For a long time, I was doing gigs for $25 a day, but because I wanted to grow as a host. And I did that for a good 7 years until I got a really good gig at the Young Turks. Yeah. And even then you still take a back seat to a lot. You still show up and do a lot of free stuff. When you are finally working, because it's honing your craft. So I've been hosting in LA for over a decade now. Yeah. And even then it's still a grind, it's still a struggle. You land at you land at a great outlet and things happen. You're no longer at that outlet, or you pivot to something else, or whatever. Digital media and the entertainment industry is so fickle and it's always changing, so it's really hard to have that consistency. And if you can find consistency, that's awesome. But more times than not, it's like one-offs. It's this job here, it's that project there, but it all leads to the same end result, and that's becoming a great at honing your craft and being good at what you are setting out to be good at. Yeah,
when I moved here, I wasn't pursuing hosting. I came out here for acting.
Yeah.
and fell into hosting
Right.
because of nightlife. Like, you know me. Like when I shows up, she shows up. Okay.
Yeah.
And so one of the promoters at Mickey's was just like, I want you to host. And I was like, you want me to stand at the door and greet people like they do at Target? Like,
Like, did they read calendars?
yeah, it's like, which is good, by the way. Don't sleep on Marie Callender's.
The cornbread's bomb, right?
Listen, who you telling? But that's totally how I got into hosting. Like I fell into it, and then when I realized that it's really just how I always am anyway, I was
Yeah.
like, oh, I need to explore this further. And then in order to hone in on my hosting abilities, I started my web series Lounge with Tony, and then I would pick up gigs here and there, and like I just discovered like a whole new lane, which has been enjoyable, which is why I'm here doing this while we quarantine.
Right. Well, it's like, you have the after buzzes and all the places that you go to on the journey that I've learned. I mean, I've had some success as a host. Hey, Stevenson, I've had some success as a host, and I'm learning about, we especially super ambitious people, or we're taught, I think men of color especially are
Yeah,
taught to crush your goals. You have no choice but to be successful. If you're not successful, you're a failure. And
yeah,
so that's been ingrained and embedded in our DNA since we were young, because not everyone, but some of us come from divorced families. We come from single parent families. We come from situations that aren't the most favorable or the most advantageous financially. So you come to LA with these goals of like, I have to make it at all costs, sacrifice everything, and you don't really enjoy the journey on where you're trying to go, because you all you can see is your eye on the prize, because we're taught eye on the prize. But
yeah,
the older I've gotten, I've realized that it's not even about that, because also on your way searching for the prize, your life is happening.
yeah,
You're meeting people, experiences, things are happening. So, I always tell hosts that are trying to get into the biz, or their things aren't happening, just keep showing up, just keep doing the
yeah,
work. Don't worry about the agent, the manager, the gig. That'll if it's gonna come. It's
yeah,
just enjoy being able to practice your craft, because so many people don't have that availability. You move to LA, which is a whole life-changing experience just in itself.
oh yeah,
Surviving here,
yeah,
you're from South Carolina. I'm from Albuquerque, New Mexico. You
yeah,
come here, you give up a lot to be here, to start all over, and it's hard. It's
yeah,
hard sometimes. So you owe it to yourself to experience and be present in all of it. And I'm learning how to do that at my age now. I'm just learning how to do that. So if
yeah,
that's any advice I can give to talents that are trying to start this business, ooh, there's a bunny rabbit, is just enjoy it.
yeah.
Enjoy it.
Do you find it hard
Hey, Derek.
to excel as a black host?
You know what, Tony? I think that's that's a very good question. I
Yeah,
think,
because I have my take on it.
I there I think the way I mean, I think there's so many archetypes for hosts. They now that diversity is in, which I hate saying that, because diversity should have always been in. Shonda Rhimes figured it out 20 years ago that diversity is in.
Yeah,
Diversity is the key. I think that it's not hard. It just seems that they want a certain type of black man, right? So you have,
yeah,
athletes are really, there's a lot of working athletes a lot of athletes that are now working hosts, because they're athletes.
yeah,
Audiences love athletes.
yeah,
So I think it just depends on what they're looking for. I lean on, just be good at what you do.
yeah.
Be good, because there's also people that are working that I don't want to say they're not good, but
They're not good. That's what you're trying to say. They're not good. That's what you
or
want to say.
or it's like they're not serving the audience. And it's
Yeah,
not about us. It's about our audience, the people that are
about
working below. It's about giving them what they need. So as your question is, sorry, do I find it hard being a man of color, a gay man of color?
to
Um,
excel.
and no, I don't. I think it's just as hard for a cisgender straight guy or a woman. It just depends. I think it all depends on the opportunity
Yeah,
being there. The whole conversation about Black women in film, write roles, and marginalized groups of people in film, write roles for these people that will give them the opportunity to play those roles. So so more opportunity is just what's needed. I don't think it has anything to do with color, because if you look, NBC Universal is crushing it right now with diversity. They're crushing it because they have just, I mean, from Nina Parker to Victor Cruz to Liliana Vasquez, they have like just a lot of Scott too. They have a lot of color. You know, it's great. It's good to watch, and it's real. It's authentic. It's not like they're trying to check a box. It's
I feel like as what audiences expect from a host is just that you're relatable. And you're vulnerable to like sometimes really show yourself. I think the days of being very presentational and like just reading from a script or a teleprompter, like that skill is there, but they want to feel like you're their friend, like you're the friend in their head, like that you can tell them things about you and they go, oh yeah, like I did do that too. I totally understand where you're coming from. Like I think nowadays that's what people are looking for. And I think sometimes that's why some people who we feel like don't have the skill set are like sliding through because people just relate to them and they're just open and honest and vulnerable.
And that's fine. No, 100%. That makes complete sense. And it's not about a skill set. I love watching people. I pride myself on being like, if you watch anything of me, especially on the Young Turks, I think I'm the most off the wall, I guess, because I am who I am. I think
extra. You are extra. You are animated. You are.
Yeah. But I think when you couple that, you layer that with a strong skill set, because I also know I'm a trained journalist, so I know. I think that creates a good balance. It's not so much about people sliding through that I don't think are not good. I don't think anyone's not good on camera. I have preferences of what I want to see on television, absolutely. But I think it's just, you are very right that authenticity, relatability, vulnerability, and transparency are crucial now, because gone are the days are, hey, I'm Jason Carter and you're watching. No one wants that. And no, I don't think people are really trying to be that anymore. But it's just about opportunity and also what audiences want. You know, again, back to diversity. They're like, diversity's in. We want to get this, we want to get that, and so it's like, okay, we'll find the right that. You know, don't just throw anything and see what sticks. No, you know, when I put I have a producer's hat as well. And when I watch things, sometimes I'm like, whoa, this isn't working, you know, like, or why aren't they, what's going on here? Because the audience, the camera's not lying. The audience sees, like, let's say, Tony, me and you were on the show together and I fall out of the chair and you don't address it. Well, millions of people saw me fall out of the chair. Why would you? It's like when Michelle fell on that BET stage and Beyonce and Kelly kept going. Right? Everyone saw it. Everyone saw it, but
we all saw it. We all heard it too. We all saw it.
But then you just go, you know, like you have. So it's just about. It's about the point is that the camera doesn't lie, and audiences hear and see. So you have to be present. And I think that sometimes there's some things on TV chemistry that's not working, but it's just there.
Are there shows, like talk shows or hosts that inspire you, or certain people that you look up to hosting wise?
Oh yeah. Ooh, I love watching. Well, she's not on ESPN anymore. It's really interesting. I love female journalists a lot. I love female journalists a lot. Carrie Champion's great. I think, believe it or not, Megyn Kelly is phenomenal. Regardless of political views or her ideals, I think journalistically, she is amazing. I love watching her. Men, Don Lemon. I think Anderson Cooper is great. Also, I think all the hosts of Daily Blast Live in Denver, they do a fantastic job. There's so many. Even Matt Lauer, before he wasn't cool anymore, was great. You know, I think there's just so many great people on TV. Oprah, I think people have their niches and their lanes that they drive in really well. Like Oprah, I mean, Oprah has a whole freeway she drives in. Wendy Williams is so good about knowing her audience. Don Lemon's so great about his there's just there's even Fox News anchors I think are fantastic. You know? Yeah. So, but I mean, I'm inspired by so many people. Tamron Hall's killing it right now. All the ladies of The Real. It's just you know, there's just so many that you can pull from and learn from and make a gumbo of what they're doing and then add your own little zhuzh to it.
So before we got on live, I told my sister, that's my sister, and I said,
"Hey Renee,
that's Miss Riri." I told her, I was like, so they always said that Jason and I favor, and so I was like, watch the live, you'll see what I'm talking about. And then she is talking about, yes, we always favor a lot.
My mom said the same thing.
Well, that's not a your mom. That one thing.
Yeah.
Yes. It's so funny that you mentioned like some like journalists, and then I'm sitting over here like Wendy Williams, Amy Cohen, Ellen, the lady for the Regal. Like those are the people that I feel like. I think the way that I host and the way that I am as like a personality is geared towards that way. Now I'm not as necessarily shaky as Andy or Wendy, but I can like fall in that way.
Well, the thing about it's all the same though if you think about it, because we were earlier you're talking about connection, authenticity, and transparency, and I think that and that layer of having a good journalistic foundation, but then amping it up, and like Megyn Kelly, for instance, she's a lawyer who got on TV and became a journalist.
Yeah.
So I'm like, sorry, I have bad allergies. It's like I think it's all the same. I think journalists, it's all the same. It's just different venues, because at the end of the day, you're connecting with an audience, right? Journalists sometimes don't have opinions or more times than not, they're not supposed to have opinions. Whereas on-camera personalities, I don't call them hosts anymore. Personality or that they have an opinion. But I think I think at the end of the day, though, the same goal is to connect with an audience. And using the skill set and the skills and tools that you've been given. So it's all the same.
Yeah. Hello, my little niece. My niece is on here too. Hey, Tamaya. Okay, so let's talk Drag Race a little bit. Because season 12 has already been real interesting.
How has it been interesting?
Okay, so I mean, listen, we're all no stranger to the whole Sherry Pie thing.
Which she's phenomenal. She's a really good queen.
Okay, so here's the thing: is that like when everything went down, right? Everybody was just kind of like, not cheering, not saying nothing, like boo Sherry Pie or whatever. And I think now people are kind of like, but she's good though. Like, and I feel there's a struggle that people are having between liking her on the show, but also knowing the controversy.
Yo, it's like Bill Cosby, right?
Yeah. It's like you're torn. Like you look at Bill Cosby as like, that's Cliff Huxtable. He ain't supposed to be doing all this. And then you look at you watch the Cosby Show and you're like, can I still laugh? Or
well, yes. Okay. So here's the thing. Well, on that note, Tony, like Michael Jackson.
But we bring it up all the controversial people.
Michael's music was great. The Cosby Show was phenomenal.
Yes.
Sherry Pie is great on Drag Race. So I'm not condoning anything that allegedly what Michael did. Okay, because Michael never.
If it's one thing we learned from Wendy, you always say allegedly.
Well, and journalistically, I mean, he was not convicted, so allegedly.
Right.
And Bill Cosby, for years, that he was a cornerstone of Black excellence in television and culture. You can't take that away from him. That's happened already. We enjoyed that. The Cosby Show was written by people. There was a team. There was a whole environment, a whole community of people who made that magic. So you can't take that away and say, oh, well, he had this bad behavior privately. That mars the Cosby Show. It does if you wanted to, but if you look at artistically in the work, it's phenomenal. So if you watch the Cosby Show and enjoy it, they did their job. You know, you had no idea all that was going on while watching the show 30 years ago or whatever. So it lives in a space and time in television. Sherry Pie on Drag Race. Drag Race was made like what? Hey, Trey. Drag Race was made. We shot Drag Race, in 2019. I had no idea that was going on. So I watched Drag Race for what it's doing, for the entertainment value it gives us. I'm not condoning the bad behavior of Sherry Pie at all. And nor have I heard from Sherry himself in regards to what happened, because there's two sides to the story. Sherry has admitted to bad behavior. Great. I'll let Sherry deal with Sherry and Sherry's life, but I'm going to enjoy the work that the people of World of Wonder and VH1 and these queens have given us via RuPaul's Drag Race season 12, and that's where I'll leave it, because that's all you can do, really. But so struggling with watching it and enjoying it is not necessary, because it's a great show. It's great content, and Sherry was a great queen. Now, if we're doing one of those Leaving Neverland situations where you're sitting down with Oprah and you have the Sherry Pie and the guys that were involved with everything that's transpired with Sherry, that's a different story. But that hasn't happened yet. So if you watch Drag Race and just enjoy Drag Race for what it is, don't feel bad about that.
I think what it is that people have to learn how to separate, like, what's happening versus what this is. You know what I mean? I feel like I've always been able to do that. So while now watching Drag Race, you know, I look and I'm like, I can appreciate her talent and what she's giving to the show. But like you, I don't condone what it is that she's done. You know?
Nor are you in a singular fashion promoting Sherry Pie. You know, you're not tweeting Sherry Pie. You're not tweeting. You're not retweeting. You're not becoming this mouthpiece for Sherry Pie. You're just watching the show that has employed people, that has given jobs to people, that has that in this time of quarantine, in this time of uncertainty, is bringing joy and light into people's lives when we need. So leave it at that. And you know that. I mean, what else can you do? You know,
who do you like on the show?
I think everyone's really good. I think Dahlia Sin, who went home, I thought beautiful queen. I think Jackie Cox, boom. They're all every single queen that has marched through the workroom has been amazing because they are on that show. As Michelle Visage said, Ru picked you for a reason. So people ask me, like, who are your favorites? Of course, I have a love for Shangela. They're all my favorites because I've been there for all. I've experienced this with all of them since season 3, right? So I've seen how hard they work and what they do, and what it requires to be on this iconic show. So they're all my favorites because it's hard work, and they all bring. It's like mutants. It's like the X-Men or the Avengers. Every one of them has a power that's exquisite. So like you love Black Widow because she's this assassin, Hawkeye because he's this master archer, Thor because of Mjolnir and he's an Asgardian god. You know, they all have these wonderful qualities that you accept about them, and that's how I feel. So I don't really have a favorite queen.
You know, because people ask me that too, because I've been working with the queens forever. And they're always like, who's your favorite? And I'm like, I like certain queens for certain reasons. But I will say, there are some people that I think I'm surprised that I like.
Yeah.
Like, for this season, Rock and Chakra, like, at first I was like, not my cup of tea, but I'm like, there's something interesting about you. Or Aiden Zane is another one that's like interesting. So where I'm like, I'm interested to see what you got. You know, there are some people who are like, I know your style of drag. And while I like your style of drag, not to say that they're predictable, but like, I'm familiar with it. So I know that he's going to come out with something amazingly. One queen that I feel like to this day will always entertain me is Tammy Brown. Tammy Brown, there's something about Tammy Brown that I just absolutely love and adore. And I think it's because she's just in her own world. And sometimes I want to be invited to that world. Like,
you want what's that song from the Carpenters? Teleport? I don't know. It's a Carpenter song about going to another planet, mission control or something. I don't know. But that's Tammy Brown. You want to you want to hop on the rocket and go to where she's at.
Yep, I sure do. Because I feel like that world is full of dandelions and animated like characters and just
and opioids and everything we shouldn't be having. Like it's just full of like everything, like a good vape, some good weed.
So yeah, everything. Like in fact, you don't even have to inhale it. Like you just go to the planet and you're automatically
contact high. Contact high.
Yeah,
but you're right about that, because one of the things that Drag Race does that's really cool too is that it also gives us a chance to see personalities of queens out of drag. You know what I mean? Because there's to be honest, like I don't ever get too excited about the runway more versus watching the show. I get excited about what happens in the workroom and the conversations back and forth.
Oh yeah,
because
that's you watch that because that's where the drama is.
Well, and also you get to see like Brita Filter has the best teeth. Brita Filter's chompers. That's how they do in New York. You got chompers, but he's funny, and you know, like it's just fun to see how they interact with each other, and how who the alphas are. There's always an alpha. Like Winnow dudes coming across as an alpha. I would say Jackie Cox is like a quiet alpha. You know, like you have who else? Heidi in Closet.
She's hilarious. She is so funny to me.
Yeah.
Like, and she's one of those type of people that I think doesn't realize how funny she is. That's just how she talks, and we just crack up at it. Yeah. For you, I mean, you've been a part of Drag Race for, as you said, for like 15 seasons. Was there ever a moment that you were able to, or you wish you were able to capitalize on the success of the show, like so many of the queens have?
Oh yeah, you know that again. Great question. Well,
you know, she's a host. You know, she knows how to ask questions.
Yeah, because you know it's such a global phenomenon, right?
Yeah.
And you know what I do. Of course, the show's about the queens. The show's about fashion, drag, their lives, what's going on. And so, yeah, and there's some queens making $500,000 a year or more from Drag Race. So, yeah. I wish there was more opportunity for the pit crew to capitalize off of Drag Race, for sure, and myself included. But after being on the show for so many seasons, though, I've come to the conclusion that it is what it is. It's I'm so grateful and thankful to even be a part that. Obviously, I'm that if things were different, they would be different. So I accept the fact that my role is my role. It's very ornamental / functional sometimes. But I'm just glad I get to be in the space to experience it and have fun with it, and just the memories. Because I mean, it's just cool to say I get to go on set and be a part of this. That in itself is huge capitalization.
How hard is it to keep a secret what's happening on set until it actually airs?
Very easy. It's not hard at all. It's very easy for me. One, and two, I don't remember. People ask me like, "Do you remember?" I don't remember who's on the show. When they announced the cast, I'm like, "Oh, really? She was there? Oh, cool!" Like, because it's a competition show, so we're sequestered and we're like kept away. You're ushered in, you're ushered out, right?
Right.
So, but yeah, I mean, people ask me, "Do you know who wins?" No. And I also I like to, people ask me all the time in DMs, text messages. I like to watch the show just like everyone else. Like I have no idea what's gonna happen. I don't remember the day. So I'm like, oh, I'm in this episode, or oh, that happened, or I don't even remember. So it's not even hard. And even if I did remember, that non-disclosure agreement is the most.
That that for sure will keep your mouth shut. Any NDA will not work. Yeah, yeah. Very that. Like, but how much? So you say that you're sequestered. So you literally only see and hear the parts that like Picture is a part of, and
Yes.
then that's it. And then you
That's
go
it.
home.
So
See,
again, people ask me like, "What's a normal day on set?" Just depends on the creative of the day. Hey, from South Africa. Depends on the if I'm in a challenge that's longer, I'll be there longer. If I'm in a mini challenge that's shorter, I'll be there for an hour, then I'm gone. It's just
yeah,
they have to protect the integrity of the show, which makes complete sense. So
yeah.
I prefer longer days because the catering, the craft service is amazing. Uh,
Listen, I
that's
love a good crafty. Anytime
yeah.
I'm on set, and I'm one of those people that I will scope out what it is and take some home.
Make a plate. Well, they make those to-go plates for a reason.
Right. Yes. Not necessarily that, but like the snacks. I like the snacks.
No, I want the food.
I mean, I'm good with the plate there because I don't want to look too greasy.
Right.
So like, I'll like fix what I want, but I don't want to look like I also have Tupperware in the bag and I'm trying to collect the rest.
That I have zero shame in the Tupperware will be live and televised for the world to see.
I cannot with you.
I can.
But that's you brought up a point where like people like slide into your DMs and ask you like, what's next on the show? What's happening on the show? And it's like sometimes just because you're involved doesn't mean you're involved. You know what I mean? Like sometimes, like a lot of people ask me just because I was helping out with DragCon, like, oh, what's gonna happen? I'm like, I don't know.
Right.
And like I'm like you. I would rather just watch the show as a fan and
Right.
like. You know, I don't want to know what's next because here's what people don't understand and realize. Yes, it's great to know in advance, but if you give away what's going to happen in the show, what's the point of watching the show?
And again, it goes back to the people who create the show and what it takes to bring a show like RuPaul's Drag Race or any reality TV show or any TV show for that matter. What it takes to bring that to fruition. You know, that's it's millions of dollars, jobs, a lot. You know, there's creative people, the technical side, talent side. There's a lot that goes into making great television. So and another thing is that some people are just so thirsty, though. So thirsty. You have people who I went to Albuquerque one time, and this guy swore up and down that he knew every queen that was on the show, who wins, that he had the inside. And I'm like, oh. Okay, fine, cool, and I mean that's like me going to Kelly Ripa. No, that's like me going to I don't like the Masked Singer people and be like I going to Jenny McCarthy and being like I know everyone who's in those costumes. Oh, you do,
right?
Enlighten me, elucidate, elaborate, please. And so you know they people just but because. It also leans on how the show has permeated pop culture so deeply and has left this indelible mark on pop culture that people are obsessed. So I get it. I get it 100%. It's just comical to me how you have these people who are so adamant and very strongly think that they have it all figured out. They've cracked the code. And they're going to someone who's closely related to this show and telling you things that are so asinine and not even true that you have to laugh, and when you laugh, they're offended. Like, bro, do you know who you're talking to?
Okay. Oh wait. Side note: are you watching The Masked Singer?
No.
I'm gonna need you to get on that. You don't like it?
Well, one, I don't have cable. I don't have any. I stream everything. Two.
Problem number one.
Well, I'm a cord cutter. Two, I'm all about watching shows I'm interested in watching, and I'm not interested. I saw the first season. We covered it at ET. Not interested.
But you being like a music connoisseur, I feel like you would like a show like this where you get to guess like who's singing.
But I mean, I watched American Idol for how many years, and even though we knew who was singing, I'm over it. Just like dance shows, so you think you can dance. Like, it's I don't. I would know what I want to have a show. No, it would be dope. No, it would be at a bomb show. Get actual stars. Get Ari to sing against each other. Like Christina, that would be amazing. Versus all these. I mean, like Dancing with the Stars. I will watch Dancing with the Stars because I'm a dancer. One, I like every week. It's different. It's a different style of dance. The different classical style of dance. That to me is entertaining. Masked Singer, it's just not my bag.
But see, I feel like I am usually shocked at who participated in the show.
Right.
But everybody's with you. Everyone's like, I don't watch it. It's done. Oh, and actually, don't pretend like I didn't notice that you still crafty and you put stuff in your pantry and in a Tupperware. I've seen to that. I have seen to that.
We love Ashley, our favorite Ohioan from Toledo.
Yeah. So before all this mess came about, what's like your ultimate goal as a host? Like, Jason Carter wants what as a host?
Wow.
So see, someone asked me this question, and I had to think long and hard about it. But then I was like, oh, I know what I want now. Because at first you're like, no.
Okay, so there's two levels. This is a tiered response.
Okay.
I would love to have my own talk show. I would love to have my own talk show and connect with people and human interests, be it on television or on the radio. But ultimately, really, longevity and just consistent work. And maybe because I don't have one singular definitive answer for that, maybe that's why it hasn't happened yet. But just
you're working towards it. You're working towards it.
Longevity, just consistently working and doing good work and growing. I think that I've had really good jobs, and to me, I've learned that throughout. Oh, look, that's a falcon that's flew on my tree.
Where do you live? Where you see in the wilderness?
Deep in the valley. Let me give you a.
See,
this is from my balcony.
Oh,
there with the falcon.
That's a lot of greenery.
Oh, we're in Zabunda.
That's right. You didn't move.
We're in Zabunda.
I'm a loyal citizen of Zabunda.
But just consistency and longevity is what I'm striving for, and just keep doing great work. And because I think when you do that, the right opportunity presents itself, and you're like, I'm where I'm supposed to be, you know?
Yeah.
Because how many times have you said, this is dope, this is the dream job, or this is what I really, really want, then you get it and you're like, that's not.
I haven't had that moment yet, but I have had jobs where I really like them and they got taken away.
Right. Same.
So there's that moment.
Here's the thing, though. With that, I will say that the jobs that were taken away weren't really serving you the best, meaning they weren't valuing what you brought to the table.
Agreed. And I feel like as any sort of talent or performer, you really I don't expect people to kiss my ass, but I just want them to appreciate what I bring to the table, because I'm going to give you 110%. And I'm not going to do anything less than that. And you just want to feel like people just appreciate that.
Yeah. A thank you and acknowledgement of your talent. A paycheck's a paycheck. Paychecks are great.
Yeah.
But how nice is it to hear, like, people on Instagram, they're like, oh my gosh, I loved when you did this, or, you know, like at the Young Turks, when people slide in my DMs or they tweet me like, I love your point of view on something, I watch you all the time, thank you so much. That to me is so priceless. and feel so good. And it's like, well, you feel like, okay, I'm doing something, purpose, and I'm enacting change. I'm affecting people. That to me
Yeah.
is just as important as a paycheck. So when you work for outlets, you work for people who can't even give you or don't see you and the talent you bring to the table. It's a disservice to not only yourself but to the audience you're serving, and those are spaces you don't need to be in.
True. Well, just know that I see you. I wish you nothing but the best. Like I know that you're currently in a stumble, but you'll recover, and someone is going to see you for the talented person that I am, that I see you for.
And you
And
are
not
talented.
just, huh?
And you are talented.
Oh, thank you. And not just be like hunky sexual chocolate that you present yourself as on the RuPaul's Drag Race. Look, I'm telling you, if I had the discipline that you had and I could get my body together, we could do some things. We could like do some things together.
We could go on tour. We could be collecting some coins. But same, Tony. I mean, again, you're phenomenal. You're so good at what you do. You're amazing live. I'm always a fan. Always going to be a fan. And thanks for having me on Lounging with Tony. On Tell Me More.
Of course, anytime. Well, that's it before we get cut off because, Instagram likes to cut people off for whatever reason. But I appreciate you and I wish you the best. And I'm probably going to text you after this.
Sounds good.
All right. Bye, Jay.
Bye.
All right, y'all. So that was Jason.